Good day. So today I'm going to teach you about solving for x using the K method, the substitution method. This question appears a lot in grade 11 and it appears in grade 12 prelims a lot. It's actually more likely to appear. And that brings us to the first question. So we are told to solve for x and we have something like this. So if I want to solve for x by using the substitution, of course you might say, why don't you just solve straightforward? If you solve straightforward, notice this is x squared, right? So if we square this bracket, if we double the bracket and we say x squared times x squared, we'll end up having x to the power of 4. And of course we have not been taught how to solve a 4th degree polynomial, right? We have been taught how to solve a 2nd degree polynomial, which is the quadratic equation. So if we double this bracket when you multiply, we'll end up with a 4th degree polynomial. So to avoid that, we use the K method. So what do I mean by the K method? We look for things that are similar. Notice this is similar. The brackets are similar. So this bracket is similar. So I will say let that bracket that is similar be equals to K. Then in place of that bracket, I'm going to put K. So since there was a 5 in front of it, notice I didn't pick the whole thing because there's not another 5 there. So then I will say 5k plus. So since the 5 is in front of this bracket, I put 5k. And then now this bracket is the same, but it's squared. So then I will say k squared divided by 2 equals to negative 12. From now I can solve. So already we can see it's going to be a quadratic equation because we have got k squared and k. So how do we remove fractions? We multiply everything by the common denominator. So it means I'm going to multiply this by 2, this by 2, this by 2. So 5 times 2 is 10, so 10k. And then this, if I multiply by 2, the 2's will cancel. So this will become k squared. This times 2 is negative 24. So now it's coming out good. So let's rearrange it so this becomes k squared plus 10k. And let me take this to this side of the equation so that it becomes plus 24. Then let's factorize. So of course there is k, and I know it's going to be 6 and 4, so this is going to be plus 6 plus 4. So it means k is equals to negative 6, or k is equals to negative 4. But do we stop here? Nope, because they didn't ask us to solve for k, they asked us to solve for x. So since I use this to represent k, I'm going to put it back. So it means where k is, I'm going to replace it with this stuff. So in place of k, I'm going to replace it with this stuff. So I'm going to say x squared plus 5x is equals to negative 6. So in place of k, that's what I did. I put that. And similarly, that's what I'm going to do there. So let me just repeat that step. Remember, k was equals to negative 6. When I say substitute, I don't mean go back to the original equation and start. No, I don't mean that. I mean, since you use this to represent k, on the last step, you will now replace k back with this. So we now replace k with it. Right? We had two answers, or k is equals to negative 4, right? So it means that in place of k, I'm going to put the same thing. So let's solve. If I take this side, this is going to be x squared plus 5x plus 6 equals to 0. Then this means x and x there. So this is going to be, should be 3 and 2. So then this means plus, so it means x is equals to negative 3 or x is equals to negative 2, right? Sometimes there are even 4 answers, sometimes there are 2 answers, because a 4th degree polynomial does have 4 answers most of the time. Yeah, but either ways, we have not been taught how to solve a 4th degree polynomial, so that's why I use the K method so that we can avoid the 4th degree polynomial. So when we take this to this side, this becomes 5 plus 4. Then this is x. Now this is going to be 4 and 1. So it means x is equals to negative 4 or x is equals to negative 1. So notice we've got 4 answers. All right, 4 answers. All right, let me go to another example. Here is another. Just before I continue, if you want to be tutored either online or physically, online, it doesn't matter where you are or which country you are at, you can still be tutored. So we offer cheap online lessons, and if you want to be tutored physically, we can still make an arrangement. So call or WhatsApp this number, but preferably please WhatsApp this number, and then we will take it from there. So what I do is that I tutor people 5 days a week online, and I give tests once a week so that I can check your improvements. The scenario. Of course, we know that if you multiply everything by the denominator, this will double up and it will become a 4th-degree polynomial. So in order to avoid that, let's look for something that's similar. You say that these two things are the same. So what you do, you say let whatever is the same be equals to k. Then it means this is going to be k is equals to -1 over k plus 2. And then, of course, how do we get rid of fractions? Multiply everything by the common denominator, which is k. So it means this is going to become k squared is equals to, remember when I multiplied this by k over 1, since they're the same and they're on different lines, they cancel out. So this is -1. And then this I also multiply by k. Then from here, it's a quadratic equation, so I can take everything to that side. So this becomes -2k plus 1 equals to 0. So it means that k plus 1, k plus 1. So my k is equals to -1. It's the same answers. Alright, so now I can replace it back. So it means that x squared minus 2x plus 1 is equals to -1. So what I did is that I replaced my k with what I used to represent k, right? So I'm just doing this to avoid any confusion. So this was my k, so I replaced my k back with this because I said let this represent k. Then if I take it that side, it means x squared minus 2x plus 2 equals to 0. Okay, I said this myself, but it's quite similar to what can come out. So let me see if this is solvable. Alright, so let me just check if this was b squared minus 4ac. And there is no solution for this, so it's not solvable. So it means in this case, there's no solution. And by the way, last year, a prelim paper came out, and when they were solving quadratic, there was no solution. And now a lot of students try to manipulate it to make sure that there was a solution, and no solution was correct. So it's possible to receive an exam paper that has got no solution. That is a question that has got no solution. So there is no solution there. It's correct, no solution. It's possible to receive something like this. So if you type this in a calculator, it's gonna be an error. There will be no solution. So it's possible to receive that. If you get no solution, just verify that you have not made a mistake. If you see that all the steps are clear, you use the correct algebraic method, then do not try and manipulate it to have a solution. Here is another question. You can even pause the video and attempt it and see if you are getting it. So we have this stuff. What do we do? You know, most people make a mistake of trying to square this side and squaring that side, but it's not gonna work no matter how you tried. So what do we do? Well, we'll say let. You see, these are the same. So you will say let root 1 plus x squared be equals to k. So it means this is gonna be 2k. Notice I didn't say 2 root, because if there was a 2, then I would pick it because it would be the same, but exactly what is the same is only this part. So it means this is going to be 2k minus 2 is equals to -1 over k. And of course, how do we get rid of the denominator? By multiplying everything by the common denominator. So then this becomes 2k squared minus 2k equals to this. When you multiply by k, it will end up being -1 because we'll multiply it by k over 1. So it just cancels out. That was our goal, to get rid of the denominator. So then this becomes 2k squared minus 2k plus 1. Alright, let's see if it's solvable. Alright, this is my own question, but you receive something similar. The ones that you receive in exams are very more likely to be solvable. But this is just something that I just randomly formed. Okay, so let me just check this stuff. Yeah, I believe this is not solvable. But if it was solvable, let's just pretend as though our solution was -1, and let's just say our solution was just an example, right? Just an example. What would you have done? Well, what you would have done is you would replace k back with this stuff. So it means it was gonna be this stuff, right? Because k, this stuff represented k, and then from there you would square both sides. Then it's gonna become 1 plus x squared is equals to 1, and you take this to the other side, it becomes x squared equals to 0, and then x is equals to 0. And then similarly, you do that for that. So this becomes, when you square both sides, you'll have 1 plus x squared equals to 4. And of course, you take this to the other side, it means x squared is equals to 3. Then when you square root both sides, it means x is equals to plus or minus square root 3. So that would be it. Just an example, right? But of course, it was not solvable. Alright, here is another one. So I had to put this. I've never seen this in prelim exams, but what if it comes out? So there are situations where we don't really see things looking the same. So what do? We can factorize so that it can look the same, or we can even multiply so that it can look the same. So if you see one seems to be factorized and the other one is not factorized, you either multiply the other one or you factorize the other one so that they can both look the same. So this is 2x squared plus 6x minus 112. So this, when you multiply it, this becomes x squared plus 3x. Yeah, almost the same though, almost the same. So what do? Let me instead factorize this so that I can pull out this. So let me just factorize it, not completely. Let me just factorize it and remove 2 so that this can become x squared plus 3x minus 112 over x squared plus 3x equals to 52. So you see, now we have the same stuff. You are not more likely to get it, but what if you get it? If you see things are not the same, you just have to manipulate them to look the same. So it means then, since we have something looking the same, I can now say let me see if you can just try and solve it. Just pause the video and solve it, and let's see if you get it. So let x squared plus 3k be equals to k. Okay, x squared plus 3x equals k. So then this becomes 2k minus 112 over k equals to 52. How do we get rid of the denominator? Obvious, we just multiply everything by the common denominator. So then this becomes 2k squared minus 112 equals to 52k. You take this to the other side, is 2k squared minus 52k. Yeah, minus 52k minus 112 equals to 0. Well, everything divisible by 2. Yes, everything is divisible by 2. So you divide both sides by 2, you'll get k squared minus 26k minus 56. And then you solve this part. And then if we factorize this stuff, it's gonna be k. You can also use the quadratic formulas, up to you. K minus what? Minus 28. And then k plus 2. Yeah, it will work out. So it means k is equals to 28, or k is equals to -2. So what do? Now we replace it back with what we used to represent. So since we said this must be k, we now put it back. So it means x squared plus 3x is equals to 28. And then of course you take this to the other side. Right, similarly that's what we do there. X squared plus 3x is equals to -2. Take this to this side. X squared plus 3x is plus 2 equals to 0. And yeah, so far we just solve for x, and if we factorize this part, it means it's gonna be x plus 7, x minus 4, x equals to -7, or x is equals to 4. Let's factorize that part. This just becomes x plus 2 and x plus 1. So x is equals to -2, or x is equals to -1. Yep, I believe there's no mistakes here. So 4 answers in total. Alright, thanks for watching the video. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel. And of course, anything you want me to deal with, you can ask. If I see a question, I will post a video according to that question. Yeah, so don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel.